Welcome to InTV, the show that takes you inside INEOS. This edition has something of a sporting theme. So we're here at the home of the Lausanne Lions, the Swiss ice hockey team sponsored by INEOS. But before we face off with the Lions, we've been in the USA watching the first Dragon ship loading up and getting ready to sail.
We've got domestically produced Marcellus shale ethane about to make its way to Europe. It's a momentous event.
And we'll be in Rufness in Norway when it arrives, bringing the first ever US shale gas ethane to Europe.
When we now finally have the US shale gas coming in, of course that's a new area for us. It's a new beginning.
I'll be putting your questions to the INEOS chairman, Jim Ratcliffe.
The gas imported from the US is still cheaper than buying local gas in the North Sea.
And of course, we'll bring you the latest news and insight from the world of INEOS. Earlier this month, the first of INEOS's Dragon ships departed the east coast of the United States. We headed to Marcus Hook on the Delaware River to find out what this meant for everyone involved in the project and for the region as a whole.
On Wednesday, the 9th of March 2016, the first INEOS Dragon ship prepared to depart the docks at the Marcus Hook Industrial Complex on the Delaware River.
It's a really exciting day today. The project's been working now for 4 to 5 years. We've got to the point now the first shipment's going to move. Really exciting for everyone in this project, for the whole of INEOS and for our future.
Loaded with ethane from the Marcellus shale in the Appalachian Basin, the Intrepid set off on its 3,500-mile voyage to Rufness, Norway.
Today we stand here in bright sunshine in Marcus Hook, and this morning the vessel completed loading the 14,500 tons of ethane. So it is a remarkable and actually historic day, I must say.
Being here, watching the ship ready to go on this beautiful day, tremendous feeling. We've got domestically produced Marcellus shale ethane about to make its way to Europe. It's a momentous event.
With the INEOS Intrepid taking its place at the head of this virtual transatlantic pipeline, this is a story of renaissance for the European chemicals industry. On the east coast of the USA, it's a story of renewal and regeneration. The Marcus Hook refinery is over 100 years old and had a prestigious history within the American energy industry.
Marcus Hook was one of the first refineries in the United States. Goes back to right around the turn of the century.
In 2011, that history looked to be coming to an end when the site was forced to shut down.
It was really a devastating blow to the local community. Obviously, there were jobs that were lost.
However, the contract with INEOS and the Mariner East project has provided the site and the local area with a lifeline.
Today, when you come into Marcus Hook, it's a completely different story. We joke about the fact that it's hard to find a table in the local restaurants for lunch around here because there's so much activity. Hundreds, if not thousands, of contractors that are working here at Marcus Hook as part of the ongoing redevelopment of the site. We have a supply chain that starts in Pennsylvania and ends in Norway, and all along the way there's a team of people that contributed to that all coming together. I mean, it feels great, and all of our folks here that contributed to that are really excited about being part of that effort.
With the imminent arrival of the ships, we headed to Rufness to see the extraordinary amount of preparation that's been going on as they await the arrival of that first all-important cargo of US shale gas ethane.
Back in 2012, work started at Rufness to prepare for the arrival of US ethane gas. 4 years later, the site is now ready to receive the essential raw materials that they have been waiting for.
When we now finally have the US shale gas coming in, of course that's a new area for us. It's a new beginning. Bringing in gas from US is, as I said, a bold project, very brave, and it's bringing the economy of the US shale gas into Europe, which can definitely transform part of the petrochemical industry.
The site has constructed a new furnace to process the extra ethane. But the most noticeable change is the gigantic 35,000 cubic meter storage tank.
Building a tank like this it's a huge project. It's a lot of technology, It's not a simple thing, but the guys who's done this has done a fantastic job.
One of those guys was Finn Otto Arneson. He's the technical engineer who's been involved in the tank's construction from the start.
It seems that there is a big pile of concrete, but it is actually 1,500 tons of steel inside. It is made out of 5,000 cubic meter concrete, or more than 600 trucks. So it's a complicated item. It was a big job.
Little bit of an understatement there, Finn Otto. However, the ships are now underway, and excitement around their arrival at the cracker here at INEOS Nortel is building.
People have been working very hard to complete the project, and they are very happy because then INEOS has invested in Norway, so it's positive for everybody in Norditil.
We are very enthusiastic to bring in the boat in the coming days.
It was announced this month that INEOS is to become the sole shareholder of Innovin.
I think the acquisition of Solvay's shares in this is just a simple message that says they believe in us as a business, they believe in our future and our opportunity to improve and get better.
The end of the joint venture with Solvay has come earlier than expected, which had been planned for 2018.
Clearly the objective now is to do everything we can to drive the business, improve it, grow it, make it stronger, and in that way to repay the confidence that's been shown in us.
After being out of action for 8 years, the second manufacturing unit of Grangemouth's KG ethylene plant is being brought back to life.
So the whole ethane project is amazing for Grangemouth because it's going to basically bring the plant behind us up to full rates for the first time in over a decade.
With the imminent influx of US shale gas, the plant has now completed operational trials on Train 2 of the site's gas cracker and is ready to be put back to work.
A bit like starting up a car after 8 years of not running. You've just got to fine-tune everything, make sure everything's running properly. But actually now we feel in good shape technically so that when the shale gas comes in at the end of summer, we're ready to put it into both trains at the same time. The excitement on the site now that we've got both sides of this cracker running is palpable. We've got investments that people can see and the whole mood here is transformed over the last couple of years.
This month, Go Run for Fun announced it had linked up with children's running charity The Daily Mile and was now sponsoring the project.
The Daily Mile happens in school or nursery. The children go out for 15 minutes a day to walk, jog, run, averaging a mile in almost all weathers.
After huge success throughout Scotland, the Daily Mile has been launched across the rest of the UK.
Both Go Run for Fun and the Daily Mile are targeted at trying to improve children's health by introducing the sort of concept of regular exercise. So both these foundations sort of trying to get to the heart of that. Really.
So it's just trying to get in the mindset of the children that sport is good for you and it's fun as well.
Elaine Wiley, the founder, is hoping to roll out the campaign to every primary school in Britain.
I would say to head teachers who don't have the Daily Mile already in their schools to give it a try. It's completely simple to implement, it costs nothing and ensures that every child in the whole of the UK has good health outcomes for the rest of their lives.
Ice hockey is the most popular sport in Switzerland, and the A-League here has the highest attendance of any in Europe. INEOS are the main sponsors of the Lausanne Lions. So here at InTV, we thought it was about time that we caught up with the club to find out more about our links with the team and with the community.
Founded in 1922 as a focal point for the local community, Lausanne Hockey Club is one of Switzerland's most iconic sporting brands. However, by 2009, the club was struggling. Rooted to the foot of the second division and with financial problems, Lausanne HC was on the brink. INEOS heard about the club's plight and, inspired by their continuing commitment to youth development, agreed to become Lausanne's main sponsor later that year.
We were in the second division, struggling with our budget, and INEOS came in and not only gave us a big boost financially, but they were really present. They were really a positive influence on everything that we did. Always at the games, being part of the community, and that was absolutely, they were fantastic.
They have teams here through from the everyday children's standard through to the elite, and developing them is very much in the philosophy of INEOS with supporting children in sport. And fortuitously, Lausanne were looking for a key shirt sponsor at the time that we arrived. So to put the two together was a great opportunity for INEOS.
They always said we want to develop hockey on a kids level. We want to be part of the kids game, and they really helped us enormously. And it's really the only way we can grow the sport in the future is by doing good with the kids. And we have 350 kids, I think, by now in all the different teams, age groups. And one thing that INEOS always wanted to do from the beginning is be part of that as well.
We in INEOS feel that we do have a role in the community to support sports and to support the area here. So providing the sponsorship to LHC is one great opportunity in which we can do that.
I think what sets LHC apart from the rest of Switzerland is the passion of the crowds and the passion of the fans and of the community that supports this team. INEOS gave us a lot of confidence in ourselves and really believed in our project to bring us up to the first division. It would have not been possible to be where we are now if INEOS would have not been there.
Because of the way INEOS worked with and supported Lausanne HC, in the 2013-14 season, they were promoted to the top flight of Swiss hockey, back to where they belong.
Continuing our sporting theme, let's find out about some of the extraordinary people around INEOS.
10 years ago, Rhys Jones wanted to be the youngest person in the world to climb each of the world's 7 summits. Having climbed 6, he needed funding to help him get up the biggest of them all, Everest.
Finding sponsorship for the expeditions was the hardest bit by a long shot. I was just very lucky that INEOS decided to support me. There was no other company who were prepared to give me the support at the time. Having met Jim and sort of talked through my dream with him, when he said they were going to back me, it gave me a bit more confidence again that they were believing in me. And there's lots of times on Everest where it's easy just to turn back. And it takes 2 months to climb. So you have a lot of rough days and a lot of times when there's objective dangers you can't control. Things like avalanches, which are either going to hit you or they're not, and you just have to be careful and lucky. But the hardest day would be summit day. You start off at probably 11 o'clock at night, and we got to the top at 3 o'clock the next afternoon. So 16 hours, all above 8,000 meters, all in what's called the death zone. And just being on the move for that amount of time is exhausting, but equally you're carrying oxygen bottles and you've already been going for nearly 2 months. So it's just a massive physical effort to get you over the finish line, and then you've still got a long way to get down as well. So your battle really isn't over until you're back at base camp, back in safety, and then you feel the relief. When you actually get to the top, it's a mixture of exhaustion and disbelief, because it's been that thing that you've put on a pedestal for so long in your mind's eye, and you've tried to imagine the feeling, and when you get there, it's probably difficult forever to really match your expectation. So all I wanted to do was unroll the INEOS flag, because I promised Jim the photo, put my oxygen mask back on and go down. INEOS made it possible. It was certainly a big day that I won't forget.
Magna Mathison is a process engineer at Rufness. When he's not busy engineering, he's to be found running around in the woods. He and his sons are active members of the local Porsgrunn Orienteering Club.
It's a sport for all ages. We start with the youngsters from age about 6 years, and the oldest competitors in our club are now 82 years old. Running on the track is probably one of the more boring things I can imagine. In the woods, there's always something new, and you will hit a new tree and you will stumble on a new rock. So it's really great sport.
With the use of a map and compass, the aim is to navigate around an area and hit checkpoints in the fastest time possible. This winter, the club hosted and organised the Junior World Orienteering Championships in the Telemark Mountains, with over 3,000 people taking part.
Very proud of what we managed. It was a huge success as an event, and also from the sporting point of view, as one of our members actually won a medal in the championship.
But does all this affect Magna's work? Not in the slightest. In fact, he finds it helps him.
So for me as an engineer in the plant, try to leave work behind for a short while at least, and really focus on the sport.
So with me now is Jim Ratcliffe, and this is the opportunity for Jim to answer some of the questions that you've sent in to us. So Jim, let me start. with a question that's been asked by a number of people in a number of different ways. What is the viability now of shipping ethane from the US into Europe in the current oil and gas market?
The gas imported from the US is still cheaper than buying local gas in the North Sea because it's quite expensive, even at these prices. And the gas crackers that we have don't always run at capacity because we can't get hold of enough raw material from the North Sea. So the second benefit is that these two crackers that we've got in Norway and Grangemouth will run 100% for 24/7. So yeah, it still works very well at $30.
Okay. Sticking on the issue of gas prices, this is a question from our newest business, from INEOS Brea, from Peter Jones. Given the recent fall in UK gas prices, what do you see for the future of offshore gas production in the UK?
At lower prices, the exploration activity will be curtailed to an extent. The better finds will probably still go ahead, but the more expensive or riskier, and they'll probably be put on the shelf for a while. Yeah. So you'll probably see a reduction in gas production than you would at $110 oil and the associated higher gas prices.
Yeah. This is a question from the US, from Clark Carter at Addiston. And Clark is wondering about the UK, actually, and the development of shale in the north of England. Yeah. Will there be enough fractionation and compression facilities available when this industry takes off in England, do you think?
The answer to that is clearly no. There isn't. It doesn't exist today to the extent that we would require it. There's very good logistical pipeline networks in the UK for natural gas, but the specialised nature of fractionation and compression, that will have to be built when the shale gas develops.
And here's a question from Ian Coates in the UK. INEOS is showing itself as a leader in the European petrochemical industry. In your opinion, would a stock market quoted company, a public company, have been able to make the same investments and exploit ethane from US shale gas the way we have?
Well, you're in the realms of speculation. I think it's feasible they could have done that, but I think they would just have simply taken a lot longer because you would have had too many voices offering an opinion as to its viability and the risks and this and that. And I mean, INEOS is quite focused. We've got a relatively small management team, and when we made that decision, we got cracking.
Okay, last question, broader question this time, from Italy. What do you expect from people who want to work in the INEOS world?
I expect them to be honest, hardworking, entrepreneurial, committed, profitable. We do like to attract the best talent in the world because there are not that many people relative to the size of the company in INEOS. INEOS is, $50 billion, but only 15 or 20,000 people. It's not a great, we're not 100, 200,000 people. So, we do look for quality, not quantity in people.
Good way to finish. Yeah. Thank you very much indeed, Jim. Yeah. That's almost all we have time for this month, but we'll leave you with some images of the historic moment when that first US shale gas arrived on European shores. See you next time.